Hi, today we're going to do a music review on Mark My Words, U2's newest album, Songs of Experience. This is Mark My Words, and today we're going to discuss a music review. We're going to discuss U2's latest album, their 15th album, Songs of Experience, which is their companion piece to their Songs of Innocence, which came out, much to some people's chagrin, a couple years ago because it was a free album that was available on iTunes. People got their panties in a bunch because U2 made a great deal with Apple and the album just was free. So some people weren't too pleased about it. I, being a U2 fan, like most of the world, was pretty pleased with it, and the album in itself was good. I liked it. I mean, I'm a huge U2 fan. So today, I'm talking about U2 in general, but specifically this album. I'll talk about some of their other albums, but that one in particular was good. It had some strong songs. This album, and I'll go into a little history about my anticipation leading up into this album. I wasn't going into it with a good feeling. I truly wasn't. You're the Best Thing About Me, which wound up being, my notes just went down, which wound up being the lead single. It was leaked about a year prior that was going to be the single, and it just didn't really resonate with me too much. It didn't resonate at all. You're the Best Thing About Me sounded a lot like Prince's Cream. Bear with me, but if you listen to it note by note, the whole verse sounds a lot like it. But to be fair, it came out the same year as Even Better Than the Real Thing, which I think U2 really replicated their own song with You're the Best Thing About Me. So all that said and done, I heard it in advance and I wasn't too jazzed about it, and kept on hearing all the hype about how happy they were about it, which made me excited that they liked it, but felt that they kind of missed the boat on it because I just didn't think it was that great a song. Then on their recent tour, on the Joshua Tree reunion tour, they were singing one new song an evening, and that was The Little Things That Give You Away. And the first part of the song I thought was very good, and the second part felt very weak to me. It just felt as if they missed an opportunity. I'll get to that part of the song. I'm going to go track by track. So I wasn't too bullied by either of those songs, thinking this album sounded that fantastic. And then I heard the Blackout. I only heard it once, and it reinvigorated me. I felt pretty good about potentially the album. So I think it was on National Album Sales Day they released Get Out of Your Own Way, and I didn't listen to it, and I didn't want to listen to any of the other songs because I wanted the full listening experience that comes with buying a new album. Certainly with a U2 album, I hold that very sacred. Back in the day when you used to buy albums, I was there at the store on the designated day, which used to be Tuesdays, changed to Fridays, and I would have a real sacred moment of listening to the album. So the album came out, but I guess a lot of people started hearing it about a week or so in advance. It leaked. I didn't jump into the fray. I wanted to really get a good quality version of it and really just listen. But what I did do is I listened to a lot of the fans, the critics' feedback on the album, just getting an idea of what each song entailed, what it sounded like, and then I listened to it myself. And I have to say, I was so pleasantly pleased, and I feel guilty that I actually doubted U2 for a moment. But their choice of the single I don't think it was strong. There are some strong songs in this album that I don't know why they didn't lead with it. People don't have that opportunity in this day and age to come up with a second song and have the media pay attention to it as much as they do with that first song. So I don't know why U2 didn't release their best song. They released one of the songs. I think, in fact, they released the weakest songs as their singles, which just doesn't really get the fans, the secondary tier fans, not the ones like me, into them again. So I feel like they wasted an opportunity. But Songs of Experience, let's start off with song 1, Love Is All We Have Left. And what a cool song. It's like nothing I've ever heard from U2. It's just really It's really naked. It's really stark, and it's really beautiful, and I really like it. And then there's a moment where Bono's voice goes through like a kind of a synthesizer or a vocal effect, and I really like it. It's not very long, and it's just cool. And the song is very short. Just it's a brief song, but it's just a great opener, and it's different, and I really like the mood that it conveyed. I thought it's a very great song. Lights of Home certainly is probably one of the highlights of the album. It speaks about his recent bout with death. He hasn't gone into too many specifics about it, but he had a bicycle accident, and apparently there was a medical incident that occurred with him, and apparently, his mortality was questioned. So it's just such a catchy song. The lyrics are just really there. They're deep, but they're also just, it's you too. You could sing along, and there's so many moments that you just cannot help but sing along to it. It's certainly one of my high points on the album, one of my favorites. Lights of Home, absolutely. Then we move on to song 3, You're the Best Thing About Me. I already gave some feedback about that. I will say, in the context of the album, this song to me is much more digestible. And now that I know the album is good, this song to me isn't as meaningful as it was prior to the album, me thinking this is going to be indicative of the whole album. And it's an okay song, but it's in my eyes, it's gotten better with repeated listenings, and I've let go my first opinions of it. So it's catchy and likable, and I'm sure people will enjoy it in concert. Get Out of Your Own Way. This is the second release on the album, and it's a fine song. It's a totally good song. It reminds me a little bit of Beautiful Day. It has that sonic resonance in the background. It tends to have a crescendo, a real build, a kind of a talk, and then a sing moment. I think it'll do very well live, but it does have a little of that Beautiful Day sound to it, which by all means, you're going to model a song after a hit. It's your own song, may as well do it. American Soul. Now, this is where I was reading about the album, and it kind of upset me, because on Songs of Innocence is a song called Volcano, which I thought was the weakest song on Songs of Innocence. I really couldn't stand it, because the song initially came from a song called Glastonbury, which U2 were premiering or trying out on the 360 tour along with North Star. Thought it was a great song, and it's such potential. I loved it. I really think Glastonbury is the best version of Volcano and now American Soul, which they took this riff and they took this nexus of a song and they basically turned it into 3 songs: Glastonbury, Volcano, and American Soul. Glastonbury, still my favorite. Volcano, the least. American Soul is a pretty cool song. It's catchy. The chorus is very sing-along, and I think it'll do very well in concert. Kendrick Lamar opens up that with a kind of a rap. I don't know who Kendrick Lamar is. I know he's a popular rapper. It's just not my type of music, and I appreciate U2 trying to broaden their horizons by putting somebody on the album. It's very contemporary, very hip, and keeps them hip and keeps them, trying to create with good new people. But to me, I don't think he brings anything too fantastic to the song. It's odd to me, but in history, generally the first side of an album, I think about things in terms of an album. Now they're songs, but back in the day, the first side used to be loaded with hits. Songs of Experience, in my opinion, the better songs are on the second side, or at least beginning from song 6 on. And we have Summer of Love, which is a really great song, and it sounds as if it's about the 60s or some trippy kind of psychedelic experience, but it's not. It's apparently about Syria, a man who used to sell roses to try and brighten this horrible landscape. And so when you think about that in terms of the song, it takes on deeper meaning. But the song is just this really bright kind of song. I love the tempo, and I really enjoy it. The lyrics are good, and it's just a great sing-along song. I mean, I challenge you not to sing along with it. Red Flag Day is such a throwback to the war era, October. It has that sound. So if you like early U2, it's indicative in this track, Red Flag Day. His voice just sounds fantastic in it too. He really just, I don't know what he was drinking before, some honey tea or something, but his voice just sounds perfect. Bono's voice really comes through on this album. It sounds better than it has in a long time, and I don't think it's more clear than it is on Red Flag Day. Just sounds fantastic. The Showman, a little more better. Now, this is just such a catchy song, and I've been reading a lot of other reviews and articles of people indicating that this is where they feel like U2 are trying too hard to be in the now, trying to stay on the radio. But it's just such a catchy song, and it's funny, it's tongue-in-cheek, it's Bono talking about being a showman or understanding the dynamic of being a singer. You know, LSD lead singer syndrome, or LSS. Yeah. But it's a great song, and my kids love it. They sing along with it, and I sing along with it, and the more I listen to it, the more I enjoy it. And I think if they do that one live on their current tour, I think a lot of people would just really enjoy it, because there's just some enthusiasm there for the song. It's cute. The little things that give you away. I spoke about this before, and how they premiered this during the Joshua Tree. It was on, I think it was on Jimmy Kimmel Live too, or was it Fallon? I'm not sure. They premiered it in one of the talk shows. I was hoping that the version that came on this would be different than the one they sang live. It's good. The first half of the song, I think, is fantastic. The chorus, the lyrics are dark, a little foreboding. It's the second half of the song that is my challenge, and I'm sure a lot of people will give me some of their feedback on this thing. I'm crazy, but it's the sometimes part, the second part of the song. He says sometimes 15 times, and Bono, who is known as a great lyricist, I feel as if he just keeps throwing that word out like it's a rant. If this was an early version of the song, I can understand it. He was trying to get somewhere, but in the end, I feel like he missed an opportunity. For instance, the sometimes part could have gone into the little things that give you away chorus, which is only sang twice. It's just so beautiful, and I find it to be such a shame that it's only sung twice. And then there's this 15 times of sometimes, and the song just, it crescendos in the typical U2 fashion. It's very City of Blinding Lights from How to Dismantle Atomic Bomb. It reminds me of that song a lot. The ending in the background, how Edge kind of builds the song into this real moment. And as much as I've listened to it, it now is starting to irritate me. Yeah, I've counted the 15 sometimes. So it's just a missed opportunity, in my opinion, that they could have married the chorus with that second part and made a nice union. Landlady is another one of the standout tracks on the album. It is beautiful. It's truly a hauntingly beautiful song to his wife about being on the road and traveling, and how wherever he is, he knows that she anchors him. She brings him back to his present place, and it's a beautiful song. And particularly, this is my point about the other song, The Little Things That Give You Away. The second part of that song doesn't enhance it, in my opinion. It takes away from that song. Landlady has another part where he sings, every wave that broke me, every song that wrote me was to get me home to you. And then there's that part where I would win and call it losing if the prize was not for you. Like, that whole bit gives me chills. I mean, I read other fans talking about that, and then I listened to it, and I understood why they liked it so much. It gave me goosebumps, and that's what U2 does professionally. They give me the chills. They take me to that musical place that just few bands have. The Beatles, U2, I mean, primarily those bands do it, and they do it like no other. So this song, it's completely evident in. Now moving on to song 11, The Blackout. This is just a great song. I mean, just an absolute great rock and roll song. It's got a really funky thing going on there. I mean, I don't know who they were channeling. The guitar is cool. Like, they just got gritty and dirty, and the bass sounds fantastic. And my kids love it. I mean, I'm an unabashed U2 fan, so when the album came out, I started playing it for them. Now I get in the car, and my 2-year-old asks for a Bono, Bono, and they love that song. That's their favorite song, and I love it too. So Blackout is played a lot, and they know the words, and I know the words, and we sing it together. So it's a true rock and roll song. I recommend it. Love is Bigger Than Anything in Its Way is probably my new favorite U2 song. It's got hints of Stuck in a Moment, Walk On. It just has that bright U2 sound, and the lyrics and that chorus. It's got even a little bit of God Will Send His Angels, that moment where the song just crescendos. It just arrives, and U2 just, they do it here, and it's a fantastic song. My other daughter, that's her favorite song, and we talk about it and sing it, and it makes me happy, and I want to hear that one live for sure. Now, song 13, I thought this was a bit of a jip at first, but the more I listen to it, I really like it. There Is a Light. This is a tie-in with Songs of Innocence, Song for Someone. So, and There Is a Light is part of the chorus. They've sort of taken the root of that song and wrote a new song about it, but it's sung in a lower key, and it's very good. It's very moody, and There Is a Light that gathers around the dark. It's a nice ending to the album. So I'd read that they rehashed that part, and I wasn't happy. Then I heard it, and I said, they kind of did something cool here. They tied both their albums together. So in the end, I like Songs of Experience better than Songs of Innocence, although Songs of Innocence does have some really great songs. I think this album really has some standout tracks, really strong. They worked with a lot of producers on it. I'd like U2 to be a little bit more consistent, just work with one person and just maybe, I don't know, I still love that Lily White, Lanois work that they've done, but you need to grow. You need to work with other producers. You need to work with other people that push you and compel you. U2 are notoriously slow in the studio, so it takes them forever to release songs. My other regret is this album does not include North Star, and I don't know if anyone knows that song, but that was another song that was on the 360 tour that I loved. It's just so cool, and I have, I copied it from YouTube, and I'm listening to it all the time. It's just such a great song, so I'm hopeful that maybe that turns up on a B-side. They don't do B-sides like they used to. I mean, there's no B-sides, but there was talk that U2 might do a third album in this series, Songs of Ascent, right? Songs of Innocence, Songs of Experience, and Songs of Taking Us to the Next Level. In summary, I think this is a fantastic album. If you like U2, then you will love this album. If you do not like U2, you will like this album. There's nothing to really get upset about. It's a great song. Gets a little political in some of the words on American Soul and Get Out of Your Own Way. There are some, you get the impression there's some Trump-inspired lyrics. I think they delayed the album to infuse a bit more of the political scene into these songs, but you can listen to it anyway. You don't necessarily need to hear that, but listen to the album. Totally recommended, and I hope that you appreciate my take on it. Love to hear your comments, feedback. If there are any other albums that you'd like me to review. I used to be a DJ, well acquainted with a lot of different genres of music, truly enjoy music. So this is my first music review. I've done a movie review. I've done a few hookah shisha reviews. I want to do a book review soon. I read Ready Player One a few months back, but gonna do that one soon and get it out before the movie comes out and do a movie review as well. So in summary, U2, Songs of Experience, thumbs up, mark my words, subscribe, please like, appreciate any of the feedback you offer, and look forward to doing more videos.